Saturday? At least it's not raining.
Yeah.
Yet. At least we're not at Splendour. Everyone good? Yeah, great. Well, South Bank is pumping today, full of young people and families are getting excited about the 10-year lead-in to the 2032 Brisbane Olympic and Paralympic Games. It's great to see so many young people trying out all different sports to see what they might compete in those games. And the next 10 years really is going to be a decade of opportunity for our state. The Olympics is, of course, about a fantastic event, and I'm sure our athletes will do us very, very proud, but it's also about the opportunity to reshape our city and our region, the opportunity to promote our state right around the world, to attract businesses and investment here, ultimately to create jobs. Of course, we'll be investing into the infrastructure to get people around our region between venues, their accommodation and the athletes' village, and that will make it easier to get around our region each and every day, as well as, of course, the sporting infrastructure that will serve our state for decades to come. Matt, did you want to say a bit more?
Sure. As the Premier said 10 years ago, actually also it's day one. Time starts now, and the opportunity here for all Queenslanders to come down and have a go at sport, the Olympic sports. I think we've got some future Olympians out there this afternoon, and that's what the great opportunity with this 10-year Green and Gold Runway is about, the opportunity for kids to have a go at sport. The 8-year-olds out there today, the Olympians are tomorrow. If you're into the skateboarding, it's the preschoolers. So that's the sort of generational change that these Olympics and Paralympics will bring. So come on down and enjoy, have a go, and we'll be doing it for the next 9 years.
I think one of the things that's really incredible about having a home games, a home Olympics and a Paralympics is the potential that it has to just create significant positive change within the community. Myself, in 2008, being a young person with a disability, I felt like I had no opportunities to be successful in life. But when I discovered the Paralympics, it was absolutely incredible. It's brought me so much happiness. It gave me a community where I felt like I belonged. And ultimately, I saw success at the highest level with this whole thing. And that's really incredible. But I think what's amazing now is we have this 10-year window leading into the Paralympics where we can do the same thing for the community, for young people with disabilities, by promoting the Olympics and the Paralympics together and just talking about such an amazing opportunity for young people with a disability, not just to be successful in sport, but to also find communities and engage with people that have like-minded interests. I just think it's absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited to see how Brisbane is just going to nail it in these 10 years leading up to the Olympics and Paralympics.
Have you seen any talent out there today that looks promising?
Oh, look, it's been such an awesome turnout out here, honestly. Like, it's been amazing to see all the different sports. I tried fencing, and even though I got pretty long arms, I'm not going to stop swimming anytime soon. I think I'll stick to what I'm good at. But it's awesome to see the wheelchair rugby out here as well, and just all these young kids and older kids, you know, just giving it a crack and having a good time.
I mean, 10 years' time, how do you envisage Brisbane opening the Olympic Games?
Well, if you think about where we are right now at South Bank and just how World Expo 88 transformed our city, well, the Olympics and Paralympic Games will be even bigger. So the kind of legacy we saw from Expo, places like South Bank, where we'll have the new Gabba precinct, we'll have Brisbane Live nearby it, Roma Street, we'll have the new Athletes Village out there at Hamilton. Of course, Queen's Wharf will have been open for some time, and the bridge from here to there, the new theatre behind me. So it really just continues the work that we've been doing to build the southeast into an even better place to live.
There's an article in Brisbane Times talking about the Brisbane Live Entertainment Centre. Is the government settled on that, or could that be moved somewhere else?
It's very much our intention to build that indoor entertainment arena at the Roma Street Parklands PDA area. Precisely where within the PDA, there's still some room to move there, and so we're just assessing what is the best possible outcome for the precinct, for the venue and for the city.
So that could mean moving police headquarters.
If that was where if that was where it was determined was the best location, then I'm sure we could make those arrangements. As I say, we have a long lead in now. We have 10 years to go, and it's really important that these venues, which we hope will serve our city for decades and decades to come, it's really important we get the planning right.
Have you seen any new modelling from health authorities in terms of the Omicron wave and how it's going in Queensland?
Look, we're constantly receiving new information about what's happening in the community and in our hospitals, and Queensland Health then use that data to attempt to project what will happen from here. We are continuing to see a large number of cases. So today we're reporting another 7,644 cases, which means there's currently 64,806 cases active. That compares to 985 flu cases. So if you remember, a few weeks ago I was talking about how there was 20 times the number of COVID cases as flu cases. We're now talking, 65 times the number of COVID cases. So a very large number. More than, there's 1,061 in hospital, patients in hospital with COVID. That's across public and private hospitals. 30 of those are intensive care. 8 people lost their lives to the disease in the last 24 hours.
And how the hospitals are working to overcome thousands of people, the thousands of COVID patients in there right now?
That is a very big load. That is a lot of patients, and that obviously has an impact on what our hospitals can do. We also, of course, have a workforce that gets affected just like everyone else's workforce. If you think about how many people from your workplace have been off sick this week, imagine what impact that's having on our hospitals too. They have surge plans in place to deal with waves like this. They will be rescheduling planned care where they can and where it's safe to do so in order to accommodate those more than 1,000 patients.
And obviously people in hospital though with COVID, that's not the entire capacity of the residents. What can the hospitals cope with? What number are we going to get to where we have a safety facility type units?
Yeah, you're right. So this is more beds than you would see at our biggest hospitals. Imagine taking one of our biggest hospitals out of the system and what impact that would have, and that's what they're experiencing right now. There is surge planning for many different scenarios, including some that are much more severe than where we are at right now, but our hospitals will be doing everything that they can to care for those patients, deal with other urgent care, as well as try to take care of our workforce. And I just, my thoughts are with the doctors and nurses and health professionals who are taking care of those Queenslanders right now.
And a really serious question, obviously, with so many COVID cases, so many people in hospitals, is there any consideration at all of bringing back mask mandates, or is there a concern about giving Queenslanders a bit of a whiplash by bringing them in and taking them back away?
Look, these things are always considered and there'll always be options, but at this stage the advice from the Chief Health Officer hasn't changed, and that is that if we'd certainly encourage people to wear masks, it won't do you any harm to be wearing a mask, but there's no intention to mandate it at this stage. Yeah, you can't take a daily figure and necessarily determine whether that's a peak. The last advice I saw was that the peak was still some weeks away. You've got to look at an average over several days to make that kind of determination. We've always seen variability during the week. There's days where more people are likely to get tested, that kind of thing.
Queensland is currently the second highest state in the number of outbreaks within aged care. Are we doing enough to support those workers? We know that before the pandemic they were already short, saying now that at least 10% of the workforce is off with COVID. What more needs to be done?
Primary responsibility for aged care and the aged care response rests with the federal government. Again, they've had a long time to prepare for these kinds of scenarios, but they will be having an effect on aged care, and certainly we'd encourage the Commonwealth to continue to work with the sector to make sure that people can be adequately looked after and staff can be furloughed where necessary. I understand there is still Defence Force support in aged care, and if necessary that could be ramped up.
At the moment with the uptake of boosters, or again, you're really certain Queenslanders haven't had them, just get out there and do it?
Yeah, that's our number one message is please go and get every vaccine that you're entitled to. It will protect you from the severest illness. It will reduce the severity of the illness if and when you catch COVID. And so if you're eligible, please go and get another vaccination. Look, I'm not aware of what's likely to be discussed on Monday. I'm sure we will receive an update on COVID generally, and whether that affects special events, we'll have to see. Look, I've only seen the media reports, so I don't know too much about it. Look, I've only seen the media reports, of course. Australians, when they're abroad, need to obey the laws of the country that they're in, and I'm sure DFAT will provide the kind of consular advice that anyone gets.
Back on the sports,
Yeah.
Billy Barber's just had some success over at the World Athletic Camps. I think he was the third in the last couple of weeks doing well over there. What does this mean for women in sport, especially on the road to 2032?
Our athletes always do us very, very proud, but we've got 10 years now to take what is a fantastic record of achievement and make it even better. I know there's so many people who will want to represent their country in their sport, in their home country, state and city. So that's what today's all about, inspiring young people, showing them the kinds of sports that could get them to the Olympics and getting them on that runway now so that they can compete here at Brisbane 2032. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
thank
Sarah.
you. No,
Sarah,
you're right.
Sarah.
That's okay. Thank you so much. Well, today is a really exciting day. We've got 10 years to go till our city is on the world stage. So it is very exciting today that we are continuing as a council to deliver on the long-term commitments, not just for our local residents, but also for our businesses, because the Olympics will deliver generational change, not just for our city, but for our entire nation. Today, it is more than 4 weeks of sport. Our Olympics is such a wonderful opportunity to see investment, both our local, state and federal governments working together to deliver for our locals and get the investment we need. So city shaping projects like our Brisbane Metro, our green bridges, our amazing Victoria Park will see the smooth transition of locals and visitors across our city in 2032, but also make our city such an incredible place to live. I know that today we'll see many athletes here, junior, trying out different sports, and it's a great opportunity to see that in the future they will be our athletes who may receive gold medals, you never know. As a city, we are committing to making sure that Brisbane of tomorrow is even better than the Brisbane of today. Yes. Oh, the Brisbane Metro is actually not far away. We should be seeing it come online in 2024.
Good question.
Good question, I love it. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. You could like to be a journalist too.
I was